When you see the structure behind me, make a guess of which place I'm in right now. Well, right now I'm in Tianjin, and the first stop I'm bringing you to is the Tianjin Olympic Stadium, which is actually right behind me. And if you actually look at the shape, that it actually resembles like a water drop if viewed from above. That's why in Chinese, instead of saying Tianjin Olympic 体育中心, there's actually a shortened form, a nickname for it, which is called 水滴. Some interesting facts about the stadium right behind me. So first of all, last year in March 2024, during the World Cup qualifiers, this stadium actually hosted the China and Singapore game. And it ended up that China being the host team won Singapore 4-1. And the second thing is that what's going to come up next, April 2025, there's going to be a May Day coming to Tianjin to do the performance. So I believe that during that time, that you can see that behind me, there's a Tianjin, the night market. In Chinese they call it a 水滴夜市. I believe these stores will actually open, especially when the May Day comes. Guys, I see something interesting regarding like the graffiti on the zonal seating plan. So if you were to see what's written on the zonal seating list, well, a lot of them are in Chinese. For example, for the sake of Tianjin, forever success over here. Some interesting points I want to point out, that at the stadium arena that there are also athletics training schools, or rather the sport training schools for like kids, children. And you can also see in front of me, that is actually the like a reserve part of the Tianjin Olympic Stadium. So there's more of a training pitch, and it's actually open to the public from in the morning, I guess 5 to 12 p.m. 5 a.m. 12 p.m. and 6 p.m. to I think 9 p.m. or 12 a.m. Hey guys, about 2 kilometers north of the 水滴 Stadium, okay, it's actually the Tianjin TV Tower. I'm wondering whether we can go all the way up to the top of the tower to go and see the Tianjin scenery. Without further ado, follow me. So I actually purchased a ticket over here. So this is actually the brochure about the Tianjin Tower. So basically the 100 renminbi for the adult ticket, we can go to this place and that place. So there are two places, 253 and 257 meters. Well, given that right now it's almost going to be sunset, so I'm very excited to see how the sunset is like. Especially today is a very clear day. How is it like at 253 meters? How is it like at 257 meters observatory deck? So yeah, let's not waste any time and explore right away.
游客您好，欢迎来到天津广播电视塔。现在我们乘坐的是高速电梯，以每秒5米的速度向上运行，不要1分钟就会到达253米的瞭望厅。期间您如果感觉耳部不适，可以尝试吞咽动作缓解一下。现在呢，我们有一款 APP 叫遇见猫馆长，是可以免费下载的。您可以先看我的手机，扫描电梯上方识别图，可以看到猫馆长乘坐各种交通工具出行。因为咱们最高层是一个以猫咪为主题的书斋，上面出现的小猫最高层都是有圆形的，一会儿您上到上面就能看到它们了。253米了。
Okay guys, so you can see the very interesting attraction at the 257 meters. You can actually look here. There is a place full of cats, and there is this one store owner taking care of all of this. So very excited to see them. But it's actually important for us to take note of the timings because it's only selected dates and timings over here. So for example, so you can see that this is basically for weekdays, Mondays to Fridays. It's open during these timings. Saturdays and Sundays is these timings, and notice they are not public holidays or not national holidays. For national holidays, regardless on weekends or weekdays, these are the timings that you're open. So you just arrived at the 253 meters observatory deck. So as you can see on my face, that the evening sun is shining on me. I'm very excited to be able to see the sunset, which will be happening in, let's say, about 15 minutes time. So there are many buildings that I can see, and what really surprises me to see that, oh well, the air quality is actually very clear, reasonably clear, and I can see the buildings very far away, very easily. So let's start from the south direction. If you can see the water drop stadium, or Tianjin Olympic Center Stadium, Shui Di is just right in front of me. And you can see there is a body of water below. In this direction you can see the sunset. So you can see the sun is behind me. And the main thing that I see at the west is actually looks like some water play park, because you can see the ponds in front in this direction. So this is actually the north direction. I'm pretty sure that there are many high-rise buildings. You can look at it, it's very dense. So I'm guessing in this direction, getting closer to the capital city of China, which is Beijing. So maybe this is like an introduction to how Beijing is like. So just to show it to you clearly, last but not least, the view towards the east direction. So basically, you can see the maybe lesser density of buildings, but mainly the pond and I think some structure over there, amphitheater I guess, and some river. Guys, right now it's after sunset, and after sunset when the sky gets to get dark, something interesting happens. So you can see behind me the Shui Di Stadium plus the surrounding buildings. They have lights illuminated on it showing the displays, and to me that's actually a very pretty cool design, and I'm loving it actually. Right now I just went up to the 257 meters elevation at the observatory deck. I'm actually sensing that something is moving right now. So right now I'm actually sitting on a chair with a table, and all these are on a conveyor belt. So you can actually see the conveyor belt is actually moving very slowly, as you can see. So this is the place where I'll be settling my dinner. The background also is basically a book collection, like a library with the theme being cats. So there are actually also a lot of the decoration containing cats, whether it's the pillows in front. And you look behind me, what's cool is that inside the house are real cats. You can also see, for example, there is a feed bowl for the cats to drink water. Oh my god. You can see how cute this cat is right in front of me. And they actually built a tree house for these cats. And you can see the prices. Very ingenious creation. Okay guys, so here is my dinner for today, but that's only part of it. So you can see in front of me, basically the left is the assorted snack splatter with tomato sauce, and on the right is the hot Hong Kong milk tea. So I'm still waiting for the 9-inch chicken pizza, and right now I'm feeling very hungry, so I'm not gonna wait for the pizza to serve first. Gonna eat first. Guys, finally the 9-inch pizza has arrived. So you can actually see right in front of me. It's a very big pizza. Yeah. So very much excited to try it out. Basically, I love the dinner while seeing a very beautiful scenery, especially of Tianjin in night. What stands out to me is, for example, the Shui Di, together with surrounding buildings. They show colorful lights and also some wordings scrolling from left to right, rather from right to left, or maybe even from down to upwards. Very colorful, very beautiful, and when you see the history over here, that it corresponds very closely to one of the basically my values. For example, like you dare to be courageous, like you dare to take risks, this kind of things. It's basically a thriving city, and I'm also, for my empire, they're also planning to be like that, to be thriving also. So you can see the forward over here. Very good to have the lofty aspirations. To cap this memorable night off, so basically I bought the 3D souvenir tower for Tianjin, and also the strawberry ice cream. The former, which actually is called the Tianjin Tower in 3D, that I will be keeping it for long, but this one, a great way to end off my dinner. So it's a very long day, just want to sleep already, get ready for the next day, which is like going to be exciting also. So I'm going to bring you to the next day to explain to you how is it like. Hey, morning guys. It's another brand new day, and for now I'm going to take you to a place in Tianjin where I can actually sample lots of food. So basically I'm going to experience how the Tianjin locals, they eat the breakfast, what are the kinds of breakfast that they eat. Let's go. Guys, right behind me is called the Nanshi Shiping Jie, or the Nanshi Food Street. I'm expecting it to be very crowded and full of people, but I'm wondering why is it so quiet. So I'm going to discover more about it, but I noticed that there are quite a number of the food stores which I think they are still open, so let's discover them. This is a bit unfortunate because if you look at this notice, what they say is that from the 10th January 2025, there's renovation happening in the Nanshi Food Street. So as a result, the whole place is closed. I'm not sure when is it going to reopen, but it looks like I have to find another way to how to experience a Tianjin local breakfast. Behind me is what we call as a Xinanshun market. So you can also see the roadside stores, like for example, like selling the seafood. I can even see like live crab and live prawns still swimming for sale. I want to highlight to you some of the aspects over here. Well, you can see what's in front of me. For example, especially the last 3 points. The first one being the low price for vegetables, and also it's very fresh every day because on the day itself they harvest, sell it on the day itself. And the last one is fair measurement of how much groceries you buy. There are many types of goods over here, and you can see how cheap the vegetable is. So for example, in front of me, the lettuce and the cabbage is 2 Chinese renminbi per jing or whatever. Okay. In front they're also selling the meat, like beef. And basically you can also see like they have a promise to buy fresh meat. They sell the fresh meat. There are even the features of the selling of meat. For example, like very fresh, like harvest on the day itself, and most importantly, low price. In China, they especially used to, in Chinese they say 亲民, 价格很亲民, means to say that is very reasonable, very low. The general public of China can actually afford the item. So there's actually pretty much a very good point on the market over here. And generally you can see that these are the methods you can pay, many methods, for example like through Weixin, Alipay, etc. Okay guys, so actually I bought this item called a Da Bing, which is actually 2 renminbi per piece. You can see that it's actually very big, even bigger than my thumb. Right now it's quite hot, so later I'm going to try it. But before that, I want to highlight to you that this place takes the selling of goods very seriously. There's even a weighing machine for customers to measure how much of the produce that they have purchased, to make sure that it is what the hawkers deliver as promised, because there's actually a 3-strike rule. The first one, when infringed, the hawker will close shop for 3 days. Second time strike, close shop for 15 days. Last one, close the whole store. Guys, so actually there's a bakery store right behind me, and what I purchased is actually the ma pi chu and also the nai pi chu. So I think the first one being the water chestnut and the second one being the milk skin. Both are puffed, by the way, so bring it back home for souvenir. But I want to highlight to you that these products can only be kept for 7 days in normal air conditions, so there's actually no need to refrigerate, just put it in a room temperature. Guys, right behind me is actually the Shopee store, or the baked pie I should say. So there are actually many different types of the Shopee, and I actually purchased the red bean version. So one of which is 1.7 Chinese renminbi. So I think together with the da bing, which I've just purchased earlier, I think this can settle lunch already. In other words, while these two can settle lunch, I think it's more for how the Tianjin locals settle breakfast. So finally, at least I found some parts of an answer to it. Well, I'm having the Tianjin's breakfast items during lunch. That is quite unique in a sense. Guys, my next destination, Tianjin Eye, which is actually right behind me. So basically, the Tianjin Eye mimics the London Eye, which is actually a ferry wheel. So actually pretty excited to try out and see how is it like. Right now I'm just chilling, walking along the river park. You can see there's a river behind. The weather now pretty cooling, very comfortable to walk, about 13 degrees Celsius. Explaining to you the features of the Tianjin Eye. So first of all, I want to draw your attention to the price. So generally, without the audio explanation, that during the daytime that adults will have to pay 80 Chinese renminbi, but in the nighttime adults pay 100 Chinese renminbi. With the audio explanation, it's double the price. But the thing is, for senior citizens, children, half price of the usual 80 or 100 rand. I also want to highlight to you that there is going to be some sort of a festival or celebration because it's spring in Tianjin, and it has something to do with the blossoming of the sakura flowers or the peach flowers. So you can see behind it there are already some posters like to celebrate the event. So right now, the ticket booth, I'm going to purchase the tickets. Very excited to get on to the Tianjin Eye capsule. As you can see in front, there's a ticket booth. So I've just entered the Tianjin Eye, or in Chinese Tianjin Zhiye. So if you look behind, this is actually one of the official certificates for a tourist attraction. So in this case, this is actually a 4A tourist attraction. So I believe in China that they use multiple A's to give the recognition of a tourist attraction. So the higher the number of A's, the better the recognition, the better the significance. Guys, this is actually a very short ride. So that's like about 28 minutes to go one whole round. The highest height being 120 meters. Which compared to Singapore Flyer is 165 meters in height. So it's a little bit smaller in terms of the circumference of the Tianjin Eye compared to Singapore Flyer. Guys, right now for the most exciting part, we are at the Yongle Matou, which is Yongle Port. So we are going to take about 40-minute cruise ride along the river, like seeing the very beautiful lights of the Tianjin. You can see there's actually already a long queue behind because it's actually a tour group waiting for the 7:30 PM the cruise to set off.
我也给你钱，我不许你啊。
Ladies and gentlemen, we have just started the ferry, and you can look behind me. It's basically the Tianjin Eye, which is very colorful when it's night time. So right now we are going to dock at another port that is right in front of me, and you can see very beautiful apartments in front. It's a very fitting scenery. Guys, you can see that behind me is actually a kiosk. They're actually selling the snow snacks. So for example, like the burrito chips over here. Maybe some refreshments in front. And some hot dogs. I would like to draw attention to the two pillars right behind me in red. So basically there are many characters engraved on it. Basically is the full character or prosperity or luck. So may I guess how many there are? Let me know in the comments below. The bridge in front of me with two arcs is actually called the Liberation Bridge or Jiefangqiao. It is actually common in China to use words like 解放, which means liberation, something relating to the war after the Qing dynasty finished. 天津是一个充满野性的城市，它跟我的一个价值观很相近。Talking about Tianjin, there's a very interesting fact that I want to share with you right now. There is this guy called Forrest Li, or in Chinese Li Xiaodong. Do you know that he's actually born in Tianjin? And right now he's being a chairman of our own Line City Sailors Football Club. And very happy to hear that he's actually running for to be the Football Association of Singapore president. So let's hope that he actually get the mandate on election day, 28 April 2025. And I'm very excited to see how he actually were to turn things around, improve the Singapore football. Exciting times ahead as I hope Forrest Li assumes the duty. I actually like the Tianjin in a way how it actually developed, like especially in 600 years ago, with the hard work of the people, with strategy and full of ambition. And this is actually a very nice place, especially with something that really surprised me, that being the air quality is very fresh, very good, as opposed to what some of the websites they mentioned that there is major air pollution. So yep, I really love it, this place, and very beautiful at night. Do remember to share, like, and subscribe my YouTube channel so that you won't miss any important updates. From my next adventure, be home away. I'll see you in my next vlog. Bye bye.